Welcome back, Archers. It's Monday, January 7th, and it's time for our first Archers Live broadcast of 2019 with Adam Butzin and Katie Oberlin.
Coming up, we have Archer Bullseyes from the week before break, and it's a long list, so let's get started. Archers Live starts right now.
Today we have Kyra and Bryston from Mrs. Temple's class to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. Will you please stand?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let's kick off 2019 with a look at the latest round of Archer Bullseyes. Mrs. Hammer gives an Archer Bullseye to all of the students, teachers, and staff members that helped make the end-of-course retake test run smoothly this semester.
Fallon McAlexander, Kirsten Pierce, and Becca Hathaway give an Archer Bullseye to Mrs. Smith because she is the kindest, most caring, and nicest music teacher.
Kate Farr gives an Archer Bullseye to Mr. Schott for always helping her with English and for his dedication to teaching English.
Kelsey Puckett gives an Archer Bullseye to Janessa LaFountain for always helping her with her homework and notes when she doesn't understand them.
Caden Ferris gives an Archer Bullseye to Caden Recker for helping him with his homework.
Owen Franks gives an Archer Bullseye to Bryce Schull, Caden Winslow, and Mr. Leasty. Bryce for offering to help with work without being asked, Caden for helping with other people with their computers, and Mr. Leasty for everything he does for our school.
Janessa LaFountain gives a shout out to Jessica Walker because she is always so nice and caring and never fails to make her laugh, even when she is not in the mood.
Naomi Yanez gets an Archer Bullseye for being helpful when it comes to classwork and outside of school. She is so caring to everyone and is very cheerful. There's never a bad moment with Naomi.
Mrs. Long's first period geometry class gives an Archer Bullseye to Mallory Mansfield for always being in a great mood, being kind to all the students in the class, and always being willing to help them.
Emily Laker gives an Archer Bullseye to Mrs. Reyes, Mrs. Schmizenko, and Mrs. Mavis. Mrs. Reyes is really nice. Emily says that when they went on the field trip, Mrs. Reyes gave them pencils and dojos. Mrs. Schmizenko is very funny and nice, and Mrs. Mavis has really fun experiments in classes.
Danica also gives an Archer Bullseye to Mrs. Reyes for being a good homeroom and ELA teacher. Mrs. Hammer gives an Archer Bullseye to Adam Butzin here for helping out with after-school tutoring. Adam, you are an asset to the school in many ways.
Mrs. Carnes sends Archer Bullseyes to Emma Saul, Allie Rice, and Teresa Brzezowski. Emma for picking up trash from the auditorium that wasn't hers without being asked. Allie for helping pick up stations to the library without being asked. And Teresa for always asking if there is something she can help with in the library. She usually goes above and beyond whenever we give her a task to do.
The advanced biology class gives Mr. Sisson an Archer Bullseye for challenging them and making them great, and for the tons of homework.
Ms. Brooks gives an Archer Bullseye to Mallory Earhart for assisting a second grader before recess by taking the student to the office to get a winter coat.
Mr. T gives the following Archer Bullseyes: Braylon Moreno for his thoughtful addition of the handmade placard to our math interaction area, Miles Doster for thanking him for all his extra assistance, Austin Zuber for buckling down and bringing his math grade up so much, and Mrs. Saylor for thinking of her school family at the holidays.
Mrs. Saylor gives the following Archer Bullseyes: Lizzie Zartman for changing the date on her board, putting down chairs, and giving her best effort in class. Mrs. Saylor appreciates you, Lizzie. Layla Spiker for being an amazing help during the winter workshop. Mrs. Saylor appreciates the efforts and help you gave your classmates during the editing stages of our writing. Haley Hammer for helping her carry cookies to her room. You are also so kind. And Connor Scheipel for going above and beyond with your final Terabithia project. Your 3D printed model is amazing. Thank you for taking pride in your work.
And last, Caroline Roars and Maggie Traples and Archer Bullseyes to Faith Clem. Caroline says Faith is the best friend you can ask for when you get sad, and Maggie says Faith always makes her laugh when she is sad.
Remember to submit Archer Bullseyes through the school website by 11 a.m. on Friday.
Moving on to our regular announcements, on the lunch menu for today we are having a burrito, corn, pears, and milk or salad bar.
On the schedule for today, both our junior high boys and girls play Fairview at 5. The girls play at home and the boys travel to Apache territory.
We don't have any birthdays today, so let's take it over to Wyatt from Mrs. Temple's class for our Monday morning mini Archer update.
Good morning, mini Archers. Hopefully winter break killed many of the germs that have been floating around school. However, please try to help stop the spread of germs by washing your hands and coughing or sneezing into your elbow. Remind your parents that you need to be fever and symptom-free for at least 24 hours before returning to school. Let's start 2019 in good health. Back to you, Adam and Katie.
Thanks, Wyatt. In sports news, the Antwerp Junior High wrestlers wrestled in their annual home tournament on Saturday, with 3 of the 5 wrestlers placing in the top 4 of their respective weight classes.
Finishing 4th with 1 win on the day was 7th grader and first-year wrestler Lucas Kennedy. The other 2 placers for the archers were both undefeated champions for the day. 8th grader Eli Reinhardt earned a first-place finish with 1 pin and 1 decision on the day. On his way to the top of the podium, Reinhardt also avenged an earlier season loss.
Also finishing first on the day was 8th grader Aiden Provines, who earned 2 of his 3 wins on the day by pin as well. So far this season, Provines has won both tournaments he has wrestled in and carries an undefeated 7-0 record as well.
For any student interested in wrestling, the Antwerp Wrestling Club will start practice tomorrow at 5 p.m. and will run on Tuesdays and Thursdays until the end of March. This is a free program open to both boys and girls in kindergarten through 6th grade.
And last, the yearbook staff is hosting a Dine and Donate event at the Fort Wayne, Texas Roadhouse on Monday, January 14th. The yearbook will receive 10% of the sales from dinners who show the flyer. Flyers can be presented on paper or on a phone. The money earned from this event will go toward buying photography equipment. Flyers will be sent home with students, and extras will be available in the elementary and high school offices.
That's all we have for today. Have a great first day back, and we'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Happy Monday.